Hi, today we're going to talk about why some people learn faster than others. And no, it is not because they were born with a magical golden brain, blessed by the academic gods, while the rest of us got a potato with Wi-Fi. The real difference is usually not intelligence. It is how people process information. Two students can sit in the same room, hear the same explanation, read the same book, and watch the same video. One walks away saying, "Ah, I get it." The other walks away saying, "I memorized 17 sentences and now I fear existence." That is the difference between learning and collecting mental furniture. Some people try to understand, others try to remember, and those are not the same thing. Memorizing is like taking a photo of a map. Understanding is learning how the roads connect. A photo can be useful, but if life asks you to take a different route, you are suddenly lost and emotionally negotiating with a roundabout. Fast learners are not always faster because they spend more time. They are faster because they build better mental models. A mental model is a simple internal structure that explains how something works. Once you have the model, new facts have a place to go. Without it, facts just fall into the brain like socks into a washing machine. Some survive, many vanish forever. First, fast learners look for meaning before details. They ask, what is the main idea here? What problem does this solve? How does this connect to something I already know? What would happen if I changed one part? Slow learners often do the opposite. They attack the details first. They underline everything, copy everything, highlight half the textbook until the page looks like it lost a fight with a yellow marker. But the brain does not learn well from decoration. Sadly, highlighting is not a spell. If you want to learn faster, start with the skeleton before adding the skin. First, understand the core idea, then collect details. For example, if you are learning nutrition, do not begin by memorizing every vitamin like a medieval monk trapped in a pharmacy. Start with the basic model. The body needs energy, building blocks, regulation, and repair. Now proteins, fats, carbs, minerals, and vitamins have jobs. They are not random words anymore. They are workers in a system. That is how fast learners think. They do not ask, "How do I remember this?" First, they ask, "How does this work?" Second, fast learners connect new knowledge to old knowledge. The brain is not a hard drive. It is more like a messy social network of ideas. New information sticks better when it has friends. If you learn something completely isolated, the brain treats it like a stranger at a party. Polite nod, then forgotten. But if you connect it to a story, an image, a metaphor, a personal experience, or a problem you care about, the brain says, "Ah, this belongs somewhere." That is why analogies work. Electricity is like water flow. Habits are like automatic scripts. Memory is like a path in grass. The more you walk it, the clearer it becomes. A good learner constantly builds bridges. A poor learner builds islands, then complains that swimming is hard. Third, fast learners test themselves early. This is where many people fail, because testing feels uncomfortable. Reading feels smooth. Watching videos feels smooth. Nodding at a lecture feels smooth. You feel smart because nothing is resisting you. This is the trap. Passive learning is often just the brain enjoying educational wallpaper. Real learning begins when you try to retrieve the idea without looking. Explain it, use it, solve a problem. Teach it to an imaginary idiot. Ideally, an imaginary idiot with very high standards. When you test yourself, you expose the gaps, and gaps are useful. They hurt the ego, but they help the brain. The ego wants applause, the brain needs feedback. The ego is the intern we should stop promoting. Fast learners are comfortable discovering that they do not understand something yet. Slow learners often avoid that moment because it feels like failure. But it is not failure, it is diagnosis. If you cannot explain an idea simply, you probably do not understand it yet. You may recognize it, you may repeat it, you may even decorate it with fancy words so it looks educated and expensive. But recognition is not mastery. Fourth, fast learners use active attention, not just time. Some people study for 5 hours and learn almost nothing. Others study for 40 minutes and actually move the needle. The difference is attention quality. The brain learns when it is engaged, asking questions, comparing, predicting, correcting, simplifying, applying. Not when it is half reading while checking messages, eating chips, and mentally arguing with someone from 2018. Attention is the gatekeeper of learning. If attention is weak, information does not enter deeply. It just knocks, waits awkwardly, and leaves. This is why environment matters, sleep matters, stress matters, movement matters, nutrition matters, breaks matter. A tired brain can still function, but it learns like a drunk librarian, technically present, but shelving books in the microwave. Now let's talk about types of brains. People do differ. Some are stronger with visual patterns. Some think well through words. Some learn best by doing. Some need structure. Some need examples first. Some need the big picture first. Some need to move, sketch, speak, or build. But be careful with the idea of fixed learning styles. It sounds nice, but it can become a cage. I'm a visual learner, so I cannot learn this other way. Congratulations, you have turned a preference into a prison. A better idea is flexible learning. Use several channels. See it, say it, write it, teach it, apply it, draw it, test it. The strongest learners are not trapped inside one style. They build a toolkit. Fifth, fast learners manage emotion. This one is underrated. Learning is not just information, it is also identity. When someone struggles, the brain can panic and say, "I'm stupid." Very dramatic, very unhelpful. The brain loves turning one hard math problem into a full autobiography. But struggle is not proof that you are stupid. Struggle is often the feeling of the brain rewiring. Fast learners do not avoid confusion, they use it. They know confusion means the old model is breaking and a better one is being built. Slow learners often treat confusion as danger, so they quit, distract themselves, or memorize just enough to escape the discomfort. That is why confidence matters, but not fake confidence. Not, "I am a genius." More like, "I can figure this out if I break it down." That mindset changes everything. So how do you train your brain to learn faster? First, always begin with the question, what is the main idea? Before notes, before memorization, before drowning in details, find the simple mechanism. Second, connect the new idea to something you already understand. Use metaphors, use examples, use your own life. Make the brain care, because the brain is not a storage unit. It is a meaning machine with mood swings. Third, test yourself before you feel ready. Close the book and explain the idea in your own words. If you cannot explain it, good. You found the weak spot. That is where training begins. Fourth, use active recall and spaced repetition. Do not reread the same thing 20 times like a cursed hamster. Recall it today, tomorrow, in 3 days, in a week. Memory grows stronger when you pull information out, not just when you push information in. Fifth, learn by creating. Write a summary, draw a diagram, build a mini project, teach someone, record a voice note, make a simple example. The moment you create with knowledge, it stops being decoration and becomes a tool. This is the secret. The best learners are not passive consumers of information. They are builders. They take an idea, break it, rebuild it, connect it, test it, and use it. And yes, some people have advantages. Better early education, calmer homes, stronger working memory, higher curiosity, better sleep, fewer distractions. Life is not a fair video game. Some people spawn with better settings, but the brain is trainable. Neuroplasticity means your brain changes with repeated use. Not instantly, not magically, not because you watched one motivational video and whispered, "discipline," into a mirror, but through repeated attention, effort, feedback, sleep, and practice. If you want to learn faster, do not ask only, "How much time did I study?" Ask better questions. Did I understand the core idea? Did I connect it to what I know? Did I test myself? Did I correct mistakes? Did I use the knowledge for something real? That is the difference between a brain that stores information and a brain that transforms it. The conclusion is simple. Fast learners are not just people with better memory. They are people with better methods. They understand before memorizing. They connect before collecting. They test before feeling ready. They focus instead of pretending. And they create instead of only consuming. Your brain is not fixed, but it is also not impressed by excuses. It changes when you train it properly. So the next time you want to learn something, do not just read and hope the knowledge politely moves in. Attack it, question it, explain it, use it, make it yours. And if you watched this video until the end and found it useful, subscribe to the channel. It helps this project grow, reach more people, and rescue a few brains from becoming dusty warehouses full of forgotten facts.